The Trung Sisters, the first warrior queens of Vietnam. 1. Opening. Under the shadow of an empire. 2,000 years ago, the land now known as Vietnam was called Jiao Qi, a frontier province under the eastern Han Dynasty of China. From their capital in Luoyang, Han rulers imposed heavy taxes, strict laws, and policies meant to erase local autonomy. Chinese officials replaced native leaders, enforced cultural assimilation, and ruled through fear. Among them, one name was remembered with hatred: Su Ding, a cruel governor determined to crush resistance. But he never understood that the spirit of the Lac Viet people had never learned to kneel. 2. The flame that rose in My Linh. In the lands of My Linh lived two sisters, Trung Trac and Trung Ni. Born into a family of local leaders, they grew up with pride, strength, and love for their homeland. Trung Trac married T. Sach, the lord of Chu Dien, admired by the people and feared by Han authorities. Alarmed by his influence, Su Ding ordered his execution, believing one death would silence a people. Instead, he awakened a storm. 3. The Oath of My Linh. At dawn in My Linh, before the gathered people, Trung Trac stood firm and spoke 4 vows recorded in ancient chronicles. First, to punish the nation's enemies. Second, to restore the legacy of the Hung kings. Third, to avenge her husband's unjust death. Fourth, to uphold righteousness to the end. These were not the words of grief, but Vietnam's earliest declaration of resistance. 4. A rebellion that shook an empire. From Hot Mon to Cu Chan, from Phong Chau to Nhat Nam, war drums echoed. Men and women fought side by side under the leadership of 2 women. Armored elephants charged as the Trung Sisters led from the front. Fortresses fell, villages rose, and cities defied Han rule. In only months, more than 60 citadels were liberated, Su Ding fled, and the Vietnamese reclaimed their freedom. 5. 2 radiant years of independence. Trung Trac was proclaimed Trung Nu Vong, Queen Trung, with the capital at My Linh. Harsh Han laws were abolished, taxes reduced, and native customs restored. For the first time in generations, the people of Jiao Qi tasted self-rule. Those 2 years were brief, but they burned like a torch in the darkness of foreign domination. 6. The empire strikes back. In the year 42, Emperor Guangwu dispatched his greatest general, Ma Yuan, with a massive army and naval fleet. This was a full-scale reconquest. The Trung Sisters did not retreat. They rode war elephants and fought in every major battle, including Lang Bac and Cam Ki. But the imbalance was overwhelming. The Han forces were vast and disciplined, while the Vietnamese, though brave, were exhausted. 7. The immortal moment at the Hot River. When defeat became inevitable, the Trung Sisters made their final choice. At the banks of the Hot River, they chose death over surrender. The Han retook the land, but never the spirit of its people. Their sacrifice declared that a nation may be occupied, but it will never be erased. 8. A legacy beyond time. Across centuries, in temples, legends, and chronicles, the Trung Sisters remain immortal. They prove that a small nation can challenge a mighty empire, and that Vietnamese women are not only symbols of grace, but leaders and warriors. Their spirit inspired later heroes such as Lady True, Lai Bi, Mai Tuk Lon, No Nguyen, Le Loi, and Quang Trung. 9. Closing, a message to the world. Empires rise and fall. Borders shift. Kings fade into dust. But the desire for freedom never dies. The Trung Sisters proved it long before the world was ready to believe.